Hello, everybody. It was a good night. I mean, I edited and posted the podcast and, and sent it to the very few people I sent it to. And then, checked on the ferals, gave the kids some treats, had a good night, got up in the morning, and there were pretty strong pulls, even though usually after I post the podcast, I'm okay for a little while. But yesterday, this morning, it was just like, just feeling kind of unease and kind of pull, and just like I was checking, that again, very lucky that there are so few options for the other kind of slithering here. So I ended up not eating, just a reply to a friend, but mixed up. I thought it was one friend, turned out my realtor. So I replied to her, and then to my friend in Toronto, and fed the kids, fed the ferals, of course, and I was like going, no, I need to get blood tests before I go trip to Toronto, which later this week, to see the doctor. So I'm like going, should I go closer to the end of the week, or should I go now? And I hadn't eaten, so I'm like going, okay, you're supposed to fast. So I just drank water. It tastes awful, but instead of cola. So I drank water, and I'm like going, since I'm drinking water and I haven't eaten, and might as well just go do the blood test. So I go, I line up, Blood test is like, a block away. The lab is about a block away from the casino. And I intended to come here anyway. So I kept like $200-300, a couple $100 from Friday, because the Friday was down a bit, but I still left with 300 on me. So I think I kept about that 300. I go in. There's a lady playing one machine, the one I was playing on Friday, and I put quite a bit of money into, and didn't get too much back. And then I played the one next to it, and I ended up like after 3 or 4 spins. Well, maybe after putting $60-80 into it, I won like $456, and it was like compounded by a bingo or something like that. I didn't even, it just automatically happens because they were playing bingo, so you get a bingo thingy. So I'm like, but it is really a bingo hall. So I got like $456, and then of course the temptation is to keep putting the money back in. Yeah, but I managed to just get up and walk out, and I haven't eaten, and I was feeling a bit weak. Haven't eaten, gave the blood, so I better go eat. The lady there was going, go have some green beer. Don't put the money back in the machine. I'm like, okay, green beer. Bye for now. So it's been a kind of an up and down kind of day. But it's here at casino again. I had to stop at the lab and then pay a bill for the thing. And it's like my first $20, I'm getting a little bit of spins here on the other machine, on the eel machine. I came back to the casino to give back some of the money that I got yesterday. That's the way it goes. The money just said, I want to go home. We wanted to go home, so some of it went back. Not all of yesterday's winnings, but maybe half of it. So when I was out of cash, I came here for lunch nearby. And afterwards, try not to go back to the casino. We'll see. We'll see what the pulls are like. Bye for now. Everybody, it's the next day. We've got Agita here. We've got both the babies there, kind of double-decker babies. And I've got some of the windows open in here, so we have some fresh air because it's very, very pleasant. Mid-60s, So, it makes a difference. You can hear the sounds and hear the birdies and all of that stuff. I'm having a tuna sub. I had one last night as well. I find out you can reuse the coupon. So now, I don't know when I last taped, but I think I did say that the addiction to gambling, I could feel it ramp to the next compulsive level yesterday, because I took money from here, lost it, that I had won from before, then took out more money from the ATMs. Not every dollar I could access, so we're not quite there yet, but I lost a few hundred. I lost some money that I'd won the day before and walked out with, and then I lost more. So it was down a few hundred, several hundred. And I came back. It's okay, sober, not not the other addiction, as people keep saying. This is only money, not health and legal things and other considerations. But I had a good night. Watched the movie Enora, which was kind of interesting, and spent some time with the kids. In the morning, the compulsion is back, and I was like going, I still have money from before for the casino. So my contractor dropped by, and hadn't touched base with him in a while, and I'm pretty open with him. So told him about the level of cravings and the casinos of control burn and how it was kind of working. And after he left, but it's kind of stopped working now. So after he left, I had cash back to the casino. Lost whatever I took with me, 250 whatever, fed it compulsively into the machines, And then I kept one card where I can access like maybe $200. So I was about to access that, and I said, no, at the very least, I'll go home, see the kids, have lunch. It's like 3:00. Have lunch and get some more cash from the casino drawer. My casino drawer is I'm like, at the very least, I'll do that. So then on the way back, I just couldn't decide where to eat. And I got a Pizza Hut, and I stop in front, and I don't go in. And then I stop somewhere else, and I don't go in. And then, Wimpy's, don't go in. I'm like, what do I do? What do I eat? What do I eat? What do I eat? And McDonald's, I didn't have the coupon. Otherwise, I picked up McDonald's. But then I'm going to Toronto. We are going to Toronto, Inside Kids and myself tomorrow. And I'll use my McDonald's coupon tomorrow for fillet fish. So I'm very indecisive. In the end, I ended up getting the same thing I had yesterday. A tuna sub, 6-inch. Because I can reuse the coupon for the $6.99 or $5.99, whatever it is. You can reuse the same coupon over and over again. So I'm like, okay, let's just have another. I don't want to think about this. I can't make a decision. I'll just have a tuna sub again. So I picked it up, came back, and I said, at the very least, I'll be at home with the kids and I'll feel better, which I do. I mean, seeing the kids, seeing them in the catio, enjoying the fresh air, it makes me feel better, but it doesn't take away the cravings for the casino, especially when I have the cash sitting in the casino cash drawer. The life of an addict, So as my out-of-province friend said, the casino thing, I mean, she's seen me go through this so many times now. She goes, casino thing, it works up to a point, and then it becomes a beast in its own right. It's just become the beast. So, okay, had lunch, talked to the neighbors, came back, casino, just had a win. I mean, now the trick is to try not feed it all back into the machines. I'm still down for the day, but quite a bit down from yesterday. But anyway, let's see how it goes. Bye for now. Everybody, I was at the casino again. I left down a bit, up a bit, left with some money on me without accessing every dollar I could access, but still down for the day. Came back, about to feed the ferals and feed the kids inside and just stay in with the kids and, let the ferals know that I'm home because tomorrow we're all going in the evening. But the neighbor is very kindly going to look after them, and she looks after them very well, the ferals. Anyway, hey kids, your food is here. Just going to put it all on the plates and everything. Everybody, they're inching closer. Peanut and Jill. And then you can see Bcee back there, And Jill was over there, just inched closer. Supper's just about ready. I get one bowl here in the pink bowl. I get one in the heated bowl, which I'm not plugging in because it's not cold enough, And now I just have to do the fresh water, put some treats in the shed, and then I'll go in, and they'll come and eat. Sweetheart, I just came here before, preparing to go to Toronto this weekend. I had some cash, casino cash. I got a a relatively big one. Makes up for some of my losses the day before yesterday. Anyway, now that's it, done. Going to Toronto. Toronto, can't gamble because I'm banned there. Bye for now. Buddy, I actually walked out of the casino with the winnings without feeding them back into the machine. And then I went to PetSmart or Pet Value, and I got some treats and toys and stuff for the kids and for Jack from next door. And I'm having a chicken burger using a coupon. You got a couple of dollars off. Your Burger King. I like the fact they have Coke rather than Pepsi. And then a PetSmart, and back to the kids and packing up. Bye for now. Hello everybody, it's now a little later in the day and I got all the kids into their travel cases. Yeah? So, and I packed my bags, my suitcases such as they are, and I think after I taped last, I had a win at the casino, so I'm still down for the last couple of weeks, but you got some of my losses from the last couple of days back and deposited them in the bank, and I didn't slither anymore. Casino slither. I didn't go to the casino anymore. And then I had lunch and I went to PetSmart and Pet Value and all that stuff and came back, started packing. My neighbor came over and I gave her the keys, showed her what to do with the ferals, and she knows because she's looked after them before, but just in terms of whether to plug in the shelters or not plug in the shelters, and showed her the awning, which they knew about, and I go, it should have been quite useful, but it's leaking, so I still have to have the tarps in place and all of that stuff. So, but the other good thing was that the ferals knew that she's going to be looking after them as soon as they saw her, because she's done it before, and so that was a good thing. And then I finished packing up, got packed the kids' bag, treats and food and everything in there in bowls, and packed my bags and got them. I had to lift up the sofa to get them in, to get one of them was under there, one was hiding there, one was hiding there. Got them all, without too much trouble. What I did was I shut the door to the bedrooms with them in this area, so they couldn't go hide under the bed. If they go under the bed, then it's very difficult to get them out. So did all of that, and I'm just about to load up the car, stuff first, then kids. And we go to Toronto, and the goal for me, I see my doctor tomorrow, and then 2 days to stay clear. And I probably will be able to, pulls may be strong, but I've been using the casino CB. It's sort of, released some of the energy. And then, I got all the pushes, the kids obviously, they're with me. And, neighbor knows about my slithering with the casino and the other stuff. And I can't really, they're looking after my my ferals and, coming and feeding them and taking care of them and all of that stuff. So I can't really, come back and go, oh, by the way, in addition to seeing the doctor, I slithered. I told her, I said, look, it's going to be a legitimate visit. So the pulls are going to be strong, but it's okay. We'll make it. So that's the plan. Okay, got to put the sofa back and start loading the car. Bye for now. Everybody, kids are in the car. Agita back there. Both the babies are in here. You see one head there. And you see a couple. Yeah, see somebody sticking their thing out. Nicely settled, and we're just McDonalds Drive Through window in London. So I'm getting fillet of fish. Eat while driving. One was stopped to get gas, and then straight back to Toronto. Bye for now. Good morning, everybody. We're here at the condo, and Agita is on the same corner of the bed that she sleeps on at the house. And one of the boys is under the bed, probably Finn, because he's the one that sleeps under the bed at the house, and the other boy is settled very comfortably here. And let's have a look. Yes, this is Lcee. I can see tiny little white hairs there. So this is Lcee. That's the view. And lying in bed and looking at seeing the lake, seeing the city, seeing the skyline, seeing this, seeing the view. I'm just looking out and seeing, the shed and the ferals and the backyard, and just the sky and the trees, and I am missing the ferals, but it's also nice to be here, and everybody's very, very comfortably settled. We had a good trip back. Who's come to settle on my chest? She's got a lot of knots. Hello, everybody! It's me, Nutty Professor, and I'm here at this Hyderabad. Hyderabad's a city in India. There's a kind of cuisine, and this is a shrimp biryani. So biryani is the kind of pulao where they mix everything together, and there's two different types. There's one where they make this separately, and then they do this. But this is the one. This is a shrimp. And my friend and I, we both eat seafood and chicken, and this is the small bowl, by the way. The large bowl will be big, and that's a naan, fish naan. So anyway, I better eat before it gets cold. Bye for now. I'll tell you how it is once I've tasted it. The food was excellent, and I had a very nice conversation with my friend, and it was a foodie. So we're talking about textures and all that stuff. It was very nice at the time, And you know me, I don't hold back. So I was talking about struggles with stuff, and we're talking about distractions and rechanneling and all of that stuff. And now he's like a real foodie. So he's like, before him, this is like called a Irani chai tea. And it's like an Indian masala chai, but my friend is very enthusiastic about it because it's like more creamy, and it's got a different kind of. So he had me smell it. I don't think I'm quite as refined, in terms of olfactory as my friend, because it just smells like regular masala chai to me. But let's taste it, It's good. It's kind of flavorful. And I think there is cardamom in there. Is there cardamom? There's cardamom, and it's good. It's good. It's a Irani tea. Anyway, that's it. It was a very nice rechanneling, and a much better day today than yesterday. The pulls are much less. Lots of rechanneling. It was very nice to have lunch with my friend and to discuss food and everything else. And anyway, I got another viewer. I think we're up to like 23 viewers instead of 22. So, bye for now. Hello, everybody. It's the next day, and I don't think I taped much at all here in Toronto. Maybe a little bit at the restaurant when I was having lunch with my friend, acquaintance, and maybe a little after. I'm not sure. But right now, we've got Agita is settled there. One of the boys, and I think this is Lcee, is settled in that tent there, a rocket-shaped tent. And the other boy, I think this is Finn, is here on the chair. This is one of the favorite places when here. Now, this time has been a little rough. And I haven't taped much because pulls have been very strong. And I think, using my own kind of logic and reasoning and trying to figure out why, I think it's, the time thing. There was a binge about 3 weeks ago when I came to Toronto for the binge, but it got a little cut short. It wasn't like, it wasn't the usual length, depth, spiral. So there was that. And then, I was gambling, and I kind of started to get kind of, addicted again to the gambling as a control burn. But as we've discussed before, the control burn sometimes burns out of control. It's starting to get out of control. So I think that just, and I did win a little bit of money on Friday, and have to cover some of the losses from the previous couple of days. And it's a cycle. But if I go back to the casino, I'll lose that again, and then I'll go up, and then I'll go down, and go up and down, and really, really compulsive. But coming here was a break from that. But you know what? I think I felt kind of the withdrawal from the gambling, because that's basically a drug as well, So I was kind of the withdrawal from the casino, and then I saw the doctor, and then a lot more options here. Just being in the city, the pulls were strong. Now they were really bad on Friday. And then yesterday they were better. I went and got my nails cut. I had lunch with an acquaintance. I couldn't see any of my friends on this trip, but it was a short trip and it was kind of last minute. So, but I saw an acquaintance and we had a very nice lunch, a very, very nice lunch. And I went to the bookstore and that helped and everything. But then I came back and there was an issue, and it's been on and off. There was a issue with a leak in the bathroom, and what I do is I turn off the tap so that it stops leaking in the little tap there in the toilet. So I turn off the tap, but it still leaked a little bit yesterday because I forgot to turn off the tap. And then I started like mopping it up and all of that. So I was worried. I didn't call a plumber because I'm not going to be here for a while. And the problem has been there for the last couple of visits. But I only turn on the tap when I'm, when I need to flush the toilet. Otherwise, I just keep it off, and it doesn't leak if you turn it off. So eventually, I will have to get a plumber. But yesterday, I kind of forgot to turn off the tap, and then it leaked, and then I got stressed out, and then I'm mopping water and just hoping it doesn't, it doesn't leak into another suite or something. But so I got a little, but it's okay. I think it's okay. There wasn't a lot. So I mopped it up quickly, but it got me stressed out. So today I was like a bit stressed out, and then I'm like going, if there is an issue and the building people have to enter the condo to check on a leak, and they have a right to do that if there's like water leaking into another suite. It's happened before, and it's also happened to us. I mean, last time I think, or one of the times I was here, I think somebody from the maintenance people came to check because they said there'd been a leak upstairs, and they wanted to check my bathroom to make sure that the ceiling was dry and that it wasn't wet, it wasn't dripping into here. So they came and they inspected thoroughly, and there wasn't any. But now there's the possibility of the other way around, of going from here to there, here down. I think it's okay, but it got me a little stressed. But just in case they come in, I didn't want it to be like really, really dirty, So I cleaned up as much as I could. If nothing else, it was an impetus to clean and declutter a bit. There's still clutter, but it's better than it was. It's like, it's getting there, So, and then the bathroom, it was not dirty, but it was not clean. And it was a little cluttered too. It wasn't like the kitchen, but it was a little cluttered too. So I spent hours cleaning this. This is after cleaning, but you can actually see the mirror. The counter is white, not black, so whitish, So it's it's as clean as it's gonna get. At some point, the whole thing has to be like professionally, thoroughly cleaned. But so that's what's been happening. And then I got a little stressed out, and then the pool started, but it's just fine. We're going back today, so. And then I got everybody into this section, not letting them into the bedroom, because if they go into the bedrooms, they might go into the bed. I do have to give a shout out to my neighbor who's taken very good care of the ferals. She has taken care of them. She texts me, she feeds them, she tells me what they're doing. She goes, twice a day. She's taken care of them as well as I do, which is saying quite a bit, So, and that has also been a push. That's been a relief. And even though the pulls have been very, very strong, the fact that my neighbors are looking after the ferals, and, I'm missing the ferals, and I'm going to get back to them. And, looking after them is also a push. I mean, because they have so little, they ask for so little, so that, just the routines of looking after them for me, it works as a push. And of course, the biggest pushes of all are these three, there's about, so anyway, and then, the ferals are also big pushes, so everything else. So a big shout out to my neighbor, taking such good care of the ferals, but we'll be back in time to give them supper. And it'll be nice to see them again. After a little chasing around, I got Agita very easily into her case. And a bit of chasing around, 5 minutes of chasing around the apartment. I got Finn into the bigger case. And I'm searching, and I'm searching, and I'm searching, and I can't find Lcee. And I'm like looking under the bed. I'm maybe snuck into the bedrooms, and when I was looking, when the door was open, I'm looking under the beds, and I'm checking in here, I'm checking in there, and I'm looking all the corners, and I'm looking, earlier he had been in that thing, so I'm looking in that thing, and I'm looking all the corners, and there. I think he's the cleverer one of the two, Finn's strategy was run and try to hide. This one is just hide well. And if you look at it from here, you can't see it. It's only when I look from that side, and I'm looking. A bit of a production, but I got everybody down in the carts. I had to bring 2 carts, pulling one, pushing one, and then got them down here, got them in the car, and then transferred one of the boys into the bigger case with the other boy because they like to travel together. So that case is empty, and Agita's there, and both the boys are in here. You know, so, there, one and two. One there, one there. I was hungry, so I put that there, put those in the heated bowls, had a very good night with the inside kids, fed the inside kids, come out, and I got this old bed that the kids didn't use as the condo. It was, you know, so it was just like wrapped up. It was, haven't used it in years, but for the funerals it'll be fine, and I will eventually wash everything that's in the shed. So, but for now, I'll put it in the shed. So I got the bed for them. Feeding them, I'll put the bed in the shed and then have a shower and go out to PetSmart and to, lunch and stuff like that, you know. And yeah, there are a little bit of pulls here for the casino because, you know, I was kind of going through casino withdrawal, but I made sort of 4 days without the casino, so I want to keep going. And I got all this other rechanneling stuff to do. So, you know, looking after the ferals, looking after the kids, going out to PetSmart, stuff like that. I think I'll be okay. We'll just go day by day. But hello, everybody. One of the boys, and I think it's Finn, has claimed the bed first. Now, Agita could easily climb up there and go to her thing, but she won't get on the bed if a boy's already on it, you know? So if she's on it first and a boy comes and sits over there, then she's okay with that. But she'll sit on the floor. Our family denied it. And the boy he goes, I got here first. You want to come, you can come, but you know, I'm not moving. We gotta keep it there. Keep it there. One of the boys, I think that's Finn. And we've got, the whole family has to be here. We've got Lcee coming, and I just saw Bcee on the deck, but I tapped, and she saw me, and then she looked at me, she stared at me, which, you know, as long as I'm inside, they don't mind, even if it's only like 6 feet, 8 feet. If I'm outside, it has to be like a 20 feet distance. But anyway, so I fed them, I put the old bed, I just put it in the corner. And there, look, doesn't she look like a panther? That's Jill coming out of the bush, you know. So I've seen all three today. Peanut was on the deck when I fed them. I just saw Bcee on the deck, and we've got Jill back there. I think she's using the litter box, you know, the whole backyard. So we got that back bush is their litter box. So I'm just going to work on journal entries. It's a relief to be back. Now, there are pulls here too. There are pulls for the other thing, but even here, there are pulls for the other thing, but it's just so hard to find, you know, that now the pulls here are more for the casino because I'm starting to use that as a controlled burn, and I was going almost every day last week until we left for the city. So the casino is now the control. We've talked about this before. I mean, so many years I've been doing this on and off, and I've been, you know, doing the podcast for my very, very few viewers, mostly for myself. But I have talked about how at one point the controlled burn gets out of control, the casino, you know, and it's happened before. And when it gets out of control, as my friend out of Providence says, it becomes a beast in its own right, you know. It becomes almost as bad as the other thing. I mean, without the health considerations, but it's very compulsive and can be very expensive and all of that stuff. So it's starting to, not quite there yet, but it's starting to. Last week I went almost every day, but you know, and it was I didn't access everything I can access kind of thing. I wasn't quite at that point, but it was getting quite compulsive. So I've had 3-4 days without the casino. I went to Toronto, and I can't go to casinos there because I'm banned at the ones there. So I and then there were very strong pulls in Toronto for the other thing because there was more options, but managed not to. Came back. It's a relief to be back. There were still some pulls yesterday when I came, you know, kind of residual. And then there was a little bit of pull for going to the casino here. It's so close by. But I'd rather not if I can possibly help it, you know. And I don't want to completely burn up that burn. I want to have it as a backup just in case the pulls for the other thing get really strong. So we'll see. If I need to, if it really gets bad at the casino, if I go again and the pulls are very strong, I will self-exclude here as well. So anyway, but just being here, other rechanneling, looking after the kids, looking after the ferals, of course. It was so nice to see the ferals again, and a huge thank you to my next door neighbors who took such good care of them, such good care of them. Fed them twice a day, fresh water, and came and talked to them, and it's huge. I'm very, very grateful for that. Very, I won the lottery in terms of the neighbors. So. Fed the ferals, fed the kids, and now journal entries. I want to start getting back into the more positive rechanneling, and go out for lunch, and PetSmart, of course. And then back and see if I can edit and post this. It's been just over a week, 10 days, but there was a lot going on the trip and the polls and the casino. So I'll see if I can edit and post later today, and that's a good rechanneling. And then during the week, other things, and it's also nice that I have this car here, that it's on the road again. There's no salt, so it's much nicer to drive than the Pacifica. So I can get washed and stuff like that. So my friend's always happy, the one out of province, when she sees me washing the cars in the videos, because that's one of my rechannelings. So anyway, I'll come back and see if I can edit and post. And I don't know if I have too much more I want to add to this. Maybe a little bit of bonus footage at lunch and after coming back of the kids, and then edit and post. So that's what's happening. Bye for now. Thai lunch. I think I forgot to tape during it, but just Thai. Eat there all the time. And car was quite clean, but just as a sort of rechanneling, and because it was off the road for a few months, just to keep it, So I just give it a quick wash. It's outside, so it'll get dirty again, but it's okay. Something to do. Bye for now. Okay, more rechanneling. One more shopping. I just got back from shopping, and you'll never guess who's there. It's Jack! Hi, Jack, sweetheart. I missed you too, You look just like my boys. And one of the boys is there, and the other one is so wondering around inside, and Agita is thinking, oh, the other one's there, look. The other boy is there, and one of the boys is there. We have this glass so they can't run out when this kind of thing happens. And I got some treats for you, obviously, Jack. Obviously, when do I not give you treats? When does your Uncle NP not give you treats? When? Okay, I just put away some of the shopping. There's more in the car. But this is the leftover from the Thai place. And there's, I put away some frozen food from Walmart. And I got food for the kids, obviously, from PetSmart. So I just put that away. And we get one of the babies there. And I think that's Finn. And the other baby there. And I think this is Lcee, And Agita is there. That's Agita. Everybody has really settled in very quickly back here. That's what my neighbor was saying as well. Everybody, I sent pictures of the boys settled on their perches there. I mean, within hours, everybody's nicely settled. But, we know that this is home base. So, and I washed the car. I did the shopping. It feels like a return, even though it wasn't an actual slither. It's a return from a controlled burn, which, and the casino. So I did get quite, it was getting out of control. That is also a underworld thing, it's also very gripping. I mean, it's less dangerous in some ways, and, but it's also, you get really caught up in that world, and it's a sort of underworld. So, yeah, it was really, really hard for me to get out of it. And I still haven't signed the self-exclusion, but we're doing it day by day now. So 3-4 days I was in Toronto. I was clear of gambling because I had to be. I had the other things to do. And I'm banned in casinos in Toronto. There's only one here, which is like an alternative. It's like a charity casino bingo hall. It's got a few slot machines, but it works for my controlled burn thing. And there are a couple of machines that, I got kind of addicted to. So I was playing every day last week, and then, I went up and down, and then I won some money on the Thursday, went to Toronto with the kids, and then, because I was going through casino withdrawal, the pull for the other thing just ramped up through the roof because, there are more options there. And then I had to see my doctor, and then I had to do errands and other things, and then, and there was some distractions which were good. I had a dinner lunch with an acquaintance. And then there was a leak at the condo. I think it's okay. I've turned off the water at the toilet, so hopefully it's not going to leak down into the condo below. But that was stressful, So all of that, I came back yesterday, and there were polls, but here there's really no options for the other thing. And there was a poll to go to the casino today. But I managed not to. I did all these other things. I went and had lunch, and I went to PetSmart, and I exchanged texts with the neighbor, and I fed the kids and the ferals, obviously, and I washed the car. I washed the old Mercedes. So I did all of that. And it's helped. And just being back here has helped. So I'm just going day by day with the casino thing. As I said, it's a return. And that's why I've been doing the kind of return type things, even though it isn't from the journey to the lower level of hell. It's on the lower level of underground. It's, a return from the casino underworld. And I've said this before in previous podcasts, the casino pulls are also very strong. Very, very compulsive once I'm there and to get out of it. So the fact that I'm here and not going to the casino where I'm not banned, it's a very good sign. And it does feel like a return, going shopping and doing this and doing that and going to PetSmart and all that. So I'm just going to get the rest of the stuff in the car, and I'm going to edit and post. So from the 7 of us, we've got Agita there, very nicely settled. One of the boys there, and I think this is Finn. One of the boys there, and I think this is Lcee. And from the ferals, I don't see them out now. They're probably in the shed or under the deck. But I did see all 3 earlier today. Peanut, Bcee, and Jill. So from the inside kids, so from the ferals out there, the 3 ferals out there, and from Agita, Finn, and Lcee, and myself, the craziest, nuttiest, most fucked up professor to ever walk the face of the earth. Bye for now. See you next podcast. Wish me luck with all the struggles, all the pulls. But I got a lot of pushes here, so we're just going to go day by day. Bye for now.